All right, hi guys. I'm here. I'm live on Facebook and I'm live here on YouTube. Okay, so thank you guys for having me again. This is La Queen. I really do appreciate your time, your effort, and your energy. I am a medical assistant, a first aid responder. I'm certified first aid responder through the American Red Cross and the American Heart Association. So I'm very, very happy to be here. Now, like I was telling you guys before in my Facebook Live video, I have been servicing over 5,000 to 10,000 people just in the city of Boston in the last 3 weeks. Okay. So I have literally been servicing, literally, 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 I have been servicing 300, 3,000 to 500 to almost 5 to 10,000 people in the city of Boston for the past 3 weeks. Every weekend. Every weekend, I've been servicing at least 5,000 people. Now, how I know I'm servicing 5,000 people is because of the quantity that I'm spending on the wipes. I get a pack of wipes, usually one bag of 200 wipes, usually a crowd of like 1,000 or 2,000. Oh yeah, that's right. I was in Salem on Friday. Yeah, I was in Salem. So Salem, yeah, that's right. I was in Salem on Friday. I was also in Salem. So I was in crowd. Salem had about how many? About 200 people, 300 kids. So a bag of wipes, each one costs 90 wipes, and this is 200 wipes. So I have a bag of wipes, just this one bag. I can get through one bag of 200 wipes in 30 minutes to an hour. I can literally get through one of these bags because it's hot outside and people are tired and they don't want hand sanitizer. What they want is wipes, something to wipe their hands with. So thank you, Governor Andrew Cuomo, as well as to Governor Baker for allowing me to have the services. So I do, this is one bag of wipes, is 72 wipes, and I can do, I get through one of these bags with a crowd of 5,000. I can get through a bag of wipes in 20 minutes, literally. 20 minutes for a bag of wipes with a crowd of 5,000. Usually maybe every 5 or 10 people want something to wipe their hands with or their face because they're tired. It's cold, it's hot, they want to wipe down. So I can get a bag, I can get through. So one baby wipes is 72 wipes. And then at CVS and Walgreens, I get the whole pack, which is about $10, $15 per pack a day. I get about 2 of these. Okay, so that's 400 wipes. I get about 200 wipes. 400 wipes for a crowd of 5 to 10,000 people. Usually when I go, because they know me at CVS. Yes, they do. I go to CVS and I get a bag of 2 of these baby wipes. 200 plus 200 is 400. So I get a bag about 400 baby wipes. And for a crowd of 5,000 people to 10,000 people, our high school kids, our college kids, our Black Lives Movement, our church group are going to the beach, doing first aid at the beach, just going around to a regular beach, going to a beach in the community, going to a park in the community, just passing out my business cards and offering services in the community. I'm offering my services in the community, okay? I'm just offering my services. And I can usually get donations to help cover this in like 30 minutes. So two of these is about $30, and I get donations in 30 minutes. People are like, yeah, sure, we support that. That's great. So it usually comes out even. So what I spend usually comes out even. Okay, right now, I'm on government assistance right now, and I'm doing this on the side because I've had a lot of issues with getting a job. I've been to over 30 different cities looking for work, and it's been really hard. And I've been doing this. I'm in the medical field. I'm pursuing my graduate school in nursing or medical school, and I do this all the time, and I don't get paid for it. So I'm using this actually to make a difference in the community as well as taking this into a business. So when I go to these events, like even in the park, a regular park or to the beach, usually a beach has about a 5 to 10 mile beach has about what, 300 people, 400 people at a beach, maybe even 1,000 people at max. I go to a beach, I give out hand sanitizer, okay, and some baby wipes. You'd be surprised when people need baby wipes, seriously. So it's about 500 wipes in a 10,000 people event, 500 wipes. You'd be surprised how much of a difference this makes. You'd be surprised. Okay, I know the visual. Bear with me, YouTube and Facebook. Okay. So I have this hand sanitizer right here. Now this hand sanitizer, I know you can clearly thank you Germex, and thank you CVS as well. Thank you CVS, thank you Walgreens, and thank you Germex, because I'm gonna have to go to CVS. Okay, I'm actually gonna have to thank CVS, send them a thank you card, and send you as well as to the corporate at Walgreens, the corporate of CVS. Thank you guys for bearing with me here in the city of Boston. Well, it has been a government shutdown. I really do appreciate this. So thank you to Germex too. And I'm paying for this all alone, so I will have to ask them for donations. Now, Germex right here, this is Germex. You can see 32 ounce Germex right here, 32 ounce. Bear with me. I'm on YouTube too. A 32 ounce of Germex for a crowd of about 1,000, 2,000 people in an event. And you guys see my pictures, as well as going to the beach, going to a local neighborhood park, even the police and the fire people, a crowd of 1,000 people, a police department, or in your local neighborhood, a crowd of about, not 1,000 people, I'm talking about crowds of 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 people. And all I need is crowds of 5,000 to 10,000 people. I can do 2 32-ounce bottles of Germex with a crowd of about 10,000 people. I can still have empty bottles, okay? Literally, I can still have one used bottle left. So 2 32-ounce bottles of hand sanitizer. This is not the little hand sanitizer. This is the big hand sanitizer. So 2 32-ounce bottles of Germex, okay? 2 32-ounce bottles of Germex. I'm on YouTube and Facebook. 2 32-ounce bottles of Germex. I can get through a crowd of literally 5,000 people just with two bottles of these Germex. 2 bottles. And all I have to do, all you need is just a dime. I usually make it really juicy for them, so I just take 1 dime like that. Okay. Literally, one of these 32-ounce bottles can feed over 500, can sanitize 500 to 1,000 people. Yes, 1 32-ounce, just a dime, a hand sanitizer like that. And they just that's it. And right now, the rate of transmission in the state of Massachusetts, the rate of transmission has gone down. Yes, the rate of transmission has gone down. And yes, I know Regis and the Arch Building is using my business to bring up their business. Yeah, because right now, this financial district area is not doing too good right now. It's not. But again, I could talk to somebody about moving to another facility because they're not treating me good here. And I know I help out the community, and I'm in the medical field, so I could usually either get office space. Look at my office. It's a mess right now. I could probably get office space for free or at a really discounted rate. Seriously. Seriously. So I am very serious. 1 32-ounce bottle could feed about 132-ounce bottle could feed about 500 to 1,000 people, literally. And I'm making this a business. You see my office space. This is 200 square feet. And you guys know everybody that I've lived with, literally every shelter, every housing, every community knows that I have a lot of stuff and I'm very clean and very organized. Everybody knows that. My family knows that. If they're not clean, I will find a way to make sure that they get clean. Everybody knows it. Erica, Sydney, Johnny May, all my cousins, Sonny, Darlene, Joe, my brother, my daddy, my sisters, my brothers. Everybody knows. ROTC, all my college roommates, Bible school. Florida, Texas, Chicago, Southside Chicago. Everybody knows La Queen is clean. Southside Chicago, Florida, Texas, Los Angeles, Chicago, Brooklyn, Albany, Syracuse, Buffalo, Niagara. If I'm at somebody's house, I'm cleaning their house. If I'm in somebody's community, I'm cleaning their community. Everybody knows I'm very clean. I try to make a way to make sure that even in the ghetto south side of Chicago and in Roseland, okay, in a low income building, I make sure that my area as well as everybody around me on my whole entire floor is clean, literally. A low income building, I make sure that is clean. Living with my neighbors, I'm from somebody's house and letting me stay at their house. I'm very clean. I'm organized. I'm so clean they usually kick me out because I'm so clean. Or they have somebody else come in and take my place, which usually what happens. So 132-ounce bottle of hand sanitizer can feed up to 500 to 1,000 people. Literally. I am so serious. Manzi knows I'm clean. My daddy knows I'm clean. My grandma knows I'm clean. Both grandmas, Moselle and Johnny Mae, and JT's mother, and my grandfather's second wife. I have three grandmothers. I have Moselle Battle, Johnny Mae Lewis, Johnny Mae Johnson, her maiden name. And I have my grandfather's third wife. Everybody knows I'm clean, literally. So one of these 32-ounce bottles you can see right here is Germ-X or whatever kind of solution can sanitize up to 1,000 people. And all these costs, you can get these at CVS or Walgreens or Walmart, Target for under $10. Literally, they're like $7.99 at CVS. It is that serious. They're like $7.99 at CVS. Literally. So here's a little bitty Germ-X. This is a 2-ounce Germ-X. You're like, oh, this is only for one person. No, this is not for one person. This 2-ounce bottle of Germ-X can sanitize up to 100 people. Like, this is a 2-ounce. Yeah. You can even turn this from 100 people into 500 people. You would be surprised. 2-ounce bottle of Germ-X. This could be up to 1,000 people, and you could even because it's concentrated, so you don't use its original formula, but you can even turn it into even 5,000 people just with one bottle. Now here's a 2-ounce bottle. You think it's also for one individual person? No, you can actually turn this from 50 people to 100 people to even sanitize even up to 500 people with one 2-ounce bottle. Okay, just this 2-ounce formula. So you open up, and all you need is a dime size amount. That's it. Okay. A 2-ounce bottle, Germ-X. This is 2 ounces. See, 2 ounces on Facebook and 2 ounces on YouTube. 2 ounce Facebook and YouTube. 2 ounces from not for just for one individual person, but 50 people to 100 people, and you can even sparse this into 500 people. You would be surprised how much you can do because the formula is a really good formula. Any kind of hand sanitizer, just make sure that it is brand new and not old. And even right here, this is a company hand sanitizer. This is 2 ounces too. So this is 2 ounces of hand sanitizer. And this is 1 ounce. See how that's split out? 1 ounce. So you can even take this 1 ounce bottle of hand sanitizer, and you can even sanitize up to 50 people. This is not mine. This is actually a company. This is a company marketed hand sanitizer. Okay, it's new. It's 62%. You can even sanitize up to, this is a company sanitizer. You can go from, see the marking, you could go from 50 people to 100 people just with a 1 ounce bottle of hand sanitizer. You can sanitize up to 100 people. With this 2 ounce, you can sanitize from 50 to 100 to 500 people with 2 ounces. Okay. And now we're talking about coronavirus, and now we're talking about schools coming back up again. Okay. And now you have 1 ounce, this is 50 to 100 people, 2 ounces from um 2 ounces. I really want to get this back up again because let me redo this Facebook because I'm kind of stopping and going because I really want to make sure that I can't edit Facebook Live. I don't know how to edit Facebook Live, but I'm on YouTube right now. I just want to make sure that people know this, okay? Because the coronavirus right now, what is happening is that it is going from north all the way to the south, and it is spreading. It is literally spreading, and the rates are getting higher in the southern United States. And people from the south, well, because it's school's about to start, work is about to start. People from the south are actually coming back up. So here's New York. As you know, the highest rates of coronavirus were in New York City. Okay, so the rates of transmission went down. And here is a map of the United States I do have right here. So the rates of transmission was going down here in New York, as well as Boston, as well as, what were the highest rates of transmission for the coronavirus? The highest cities with the coronavirus were in Los Angeles, California, New York, Chicago, and the big cities, as well as in Florida. But right now, because the rates of transmission were going down, this is a map. Okay, this is a map of the United States. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. Okay. So Facebook, I'm going to end this. I see you one person, there's other people live because I want to make sure that people understand this because I have been doing research for the past 6 months on this coronavirus. So I want to make sure that people actually understand what is going on because I don't have to take this issue that I'm going through with people on the street, in the store. I'm part of the community. I'm here in Boston for a reason. I'm single. I'm fabulous. And I'm Black. So I want to make sure I have been doing research that has been, spoken about from Governor Andrew Cuomo, as well as Governor Baker here in Massachusetts, and a lot of other governors and a lot of other government people, mayors, governors, and some city council people have been referring to my research. So their staff has been referred to my research. So I want to make sure that people actually understand this and actually figure out what is really going on. Okay. So Facebook, I'm going to turn you off and then I'm going to turn you back in because I want to stop and start this and make sure that people actually know what is going on. I want to make sure that I get the correct feed. So bear with me, Facebook. All right. Okay, YouTube, I'm still with you guys. Okay, YouTube, I'm still with you. Okay, yeah, a little bit. So, okay. Bear with me, you two. Okay. So I did have, okay. Hi, this is LaQueen, certified medical assistant, certified CPR first aid, and certified first aid responder by the American Red Cross and the American Heart Association. So now I'm talking about COVID, and I'm talking about hand sanitizer and what you could do with hand sanitizer. And now, like I told you before, I could literally wash with no water, no soap and water involved because you are in a large public event. There's no soap, there's no water involved at all. Okay, no soap, no, because you don't have access to water, or you use bottled water, but you don't have access to water. Okay, I can literally get through an event of 5,000 people with 2 bags of 500 count baby wipes in one event. Literally in one event. And I'm trying to make sure that I have all the necessary permits approved by the city of Boston and by the state of Massachusetts. New York, hopefully I can get to New York and do the same thing with the state of New York and see how much. I'll be going to DC in August. So now let's get back. I can literally go through a crowd of 500 people with 500 baby wipes. Literally. Okay. So now we're talking about COVID-19. The major issues with COVID is the rates of transmission were the highest in the East as well as in the West, okay? And right now we're dealing with Black Lives Matter, which is a great issue to talk about the government wasn't shut down because of Black Lives Matter. The government was not shut down because of police brutality. The government, local businesses shut down their businesses, shut down their operations because of the rate of transmission of the coronavirus is going around so fast that it was actually causing a lot of employees as well as businesses to be sick. So therefore, personal business owners decided to close down their businesses, and therefore it caused a complete government shutdown when all these local businesses and corporations, Walmart, Target, corporations as large as Walmart and Target decided to shut down because their employees were getting sick. So it is mandated by the government, but it is local business owners coming together as well as state departments mandated government curfews to come together to control the rate of transmission for the virus. So now, as you notice that the rates of transmission of the virus were highest in the large cities, not in rural areas, but were highest in the large cities. So we have New York on the East Coast. We have Chicago in the Midwest, which had a really big coronavirus because they were talking about a lot of people, which I said reference to before. A lot of Black people had issues. Black and Latina people had issues with being the highest people infected with coronavirus. Okay. And then Chicago, Midwest, New York in the East, and LA in the West. Okay. As well as in Florida, because you had a lot of snowbirds going from Florida to New York, from New York to Florida. Florida, everybody does it. Snowbirds, usually not just older people, baby boomers, 65-year-old, your grandma, your grandpa, but everybody usually goes to New York, to Florida. So that's what happens. The rate of transmission goes from New York to Florida. And so when people travel from New York to Florida, they bring all of that with them. Okay. So even in Buffalo, even in Syracuse, even in Albany, not just New York City, but a lot of people travel back and forth, back and forth. And when they travel, of course, what are they going to bring when they travel? A virus, a contagious infectious virus with them, a viral infection. So now, the rates of transmission referring to Governor Andrew Cuomo. Thank you, Governor Andrew Cuomo, for referring to me, as well as to Governor Baker. Thank you, and to their staff. They have been talking about the rates of transmission now for the coronavirus are highest in Florida, of course, because you have a lot of New Yorkers, a lot of Easterners go to Florida, as well as in Texas. The rates of transmission are getting higher in Texas. Yes, Texas is now one of the largest states as of June the 15th. Monday, June the 15th, the state of Texas is one of the largest states infected with the coronavirus, okay? literally. Okay? And Boston is boarded up, and and Cuomo's like, I will shut down the government again just to control. I will shut down the state of New York just to control this coronavirus spread. Yes, I will. And of course, he will do it. And he will have the business owners to back him up. But they still won't take us the focus off of what's going to happen in November. So the state of Texas, all these people from the state of Texas are getting infected with the coronavirus, okay? Because it's a viral infection. So it has spread from the north, east, and west, and now it's going down south. So when it reaches Texas, of course, it's going to go back to Mexico, which you have a lot of the Latino population. They travel, they immigrate from Texas, from Mexico, from Guadalajara, from Chihuahua, other parts of Mexico, and they come up here through the southern border, from San Diego, from San Antonio, from Brownsville, all the way from San Diego to Texas, to Atlanta, Florida, to all parts of Cuba, Puerto Rico. They come and they get immigrants from the south and go back up north. So right now, the United States border is closed, literally. The Canadian border is closed, but they can't close down that Mexican border. So the rates of transmission is going up in the south. Okay, the rates of transmission is going up in the south as well as is going down in the north, which is normal, because what that means is that more people live up north than it does in the south, which is great. Okay. What that means is now that it's balanced. The virus is balancing out. So what that means is of course it's gonna affect more people in the south. So that way we can drain out the illness, drain out the rates. Literally, you have an infection, you clean it up, okay? When you have an infection, okay, let me make this easy for you guys. I'm trying to explain this to you guys, whoever's in the any official staff, government staff. When you have, it could be viral, it could be a band-aid, it could be a boo-boo, it could be a bruise, you're bleeding, whatever. When you have an infection, what you do is you clean it up, okay? Mm-hmm. When you have a boo-boo, a band-aid or whatever, you clean it up with some ointment, with hydrogen peroxide, whatever. If you have athlete's foot, you clean it with spray. If you have a band-aid, you clean it up with hand sanitizer or tea tree oil, any kind of antiseptic, okay? Any kind of antiseptic. So if you have a boo-boo, if you're bleeding or whatever, you clean up with some ointment and you put a band-aid over it, okay? You clean it. You have to clean it, okay? So right now, the state of Massachusetts, the state of New York, Los Angeles, the whole northern border of the United States has been cleaned. Governor Cuomo, he had the bus stations cleaned, the MTA. Here in Boston, they're cleaning every single day. They put in face guards every single where. So they're cleaning the areas, okay? Cleaning the areas. So you clean the infection, okay? You clean it. Now what you have to do is you have to put ointment on it, okay? So it's great to clean the bus stations, to clean the terminals, to clean the shops, to cleaning is great. Now that we have cleaned the infection, now we've got to put ointment on it. We got to put a solvent on it. We got to figure out a way to protect it, okay? So sanitize, clean, then you put something to protect it. So they have to figure out a way. These government officials have to figure out a way to protect the public from this happening again. So what they're doing right now is they're telling everybody, okay, so we're going to protect you. We're going to protect you. So pretty much you have to put on a face mask. That way you can protect yourself from the virus, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, which I should be doing now. So you clean the area, pretty much infection control, you clean it. Okay. You have a boo-boo, you clean the area with some pretty much basic first aids, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol, whatever. You clean the area. Now you've got to protect it with an ointment. Okay. You have an infection, you put an ointment on it, or you put a face mask on it. You got to protect yourself, okay? You've got to protect yourself. You've got to protect it. Protect yourself from getting further infections. Protect yourself, and that's what an ointment is for. That's what face masks are for. That's what gloves are for. You've got to protect yourself from a further viral infection, okay? So you've got the face mask, the gloves, whatever you want to use to protect yourself from any further viral infection is what protects it. So you can't compare a face mask. It's upside down. You can compare a face mask to an ointment. It's the same thing. It does the same purpose. I'm not saying use ointment for coronavirus, but it serves the same purpose. Okay. When you have a boo-boo, you clean it. Okay, so which is Governor Cuomo, Governor Baker, Governor Newsom of California, Governor J.B. Pritzker of Illinois have done. They've cleaned the facilities. They've cleaned all the public facilities, all the libraries, everything. They've cleaned it, okay? It's great to clean hands, clean feet, clean bodies. Now we've got to protect ourselves. So this is also another way, too. You've got to protect yourself. So, of course, you need masks. Of course, you need gloves. Of course, you need to protect you have your outer body, and then you protect yourself eating right, okay? Eating good, okay? So you've got to protect yourself. Ointment is good because you have a boo-boo. You need to put ointment on it. Okay. You need to put ointment on it. You need to put a face mask on. That's a good way. Okay. Now that we've cleaned the area, we've cleaned the cities, we've cleaned the bus, we cleaned the major transit places, people dwell. Church is a place of houses, churches, airport stations, bus terminals, libraries, schools were closed so they could clean the schools. The churches were closed so they could clean the churches. The bus terminals are still operating. You need public transportation, but they had to basically clean them. Okay, clean them. Now we have to protect it. Put the ointment on. Okay, now we have to protect it, which is ointment, because you have a boo-boo. Put a face mask on, protect it. Now that we have cleaned the boo-boo, we have put the ointment, protected the boo-boo. Now we've got to put the Band-Aid on the boo-boo. So what we've got to actually put a band-aid. We've got to make sure that the city, that the government heals from this. Okay, we've got to let this heal. So what they do is they have quarantines. Okay, you've got to be quarantined, or you've got to open up the government back in phases, because you've got to make sure that you have this covered. You've got to cover it. You've got to make sure that the wound heals, make sure that the infection heals. So when you have an infection, you make sure it heals. How do you make sure the infection heals? You've got to take the medicine. You've got to take the medicine to make sure that the infection heals. So you got to put the ointment on it, and the ointment is the medicine. You got to put the medicine. You got to clean the boo-boo, okay? You got to put the medicine on the boo-boo, and you've got to cover the boo-boo, okay? You've got to cover it with a Band-Aid or with gauze. You've got to cover the boo-boo, just like basic first aid, just like being a mommy, a daddy, a teacher, a nurse. You've got to cover the boo-boo. As well as if you have an infection, a viral infection, you've got to take your medicine. You've got to take your medicine. So the medicine, and what it is a lot of governments are saying, okay, the governments, the city, the local state governments are still not open. They're still not open. They're still not back in business. But we've got to cover them. We've got to close them down and let them heal. We've cleaned the area. We've got to make sure it's fresh. You can't just clean an area of a public transportation facility that's supposed to serve almost 1 million people a day. You can't just clean the airport and sanitize the airport and just reopen it like that. You can't do that. You can't do that. So in order to make sure that a viral infection, okay, doesn't have any more further spreading, you got to, especially like a major Amtrak station, a major airport terminal like Governor Cuomo has in New York, and in New York, not Newark, New Jersey. But once you do, usually what they do when they have a major airport terminal, okay, they clean it, and then they block the public from getting access to that, so that for it can decontaminate. Okay, so they call it decontamination. You've got to clean it. You've got to let it sit. You got to let the solution sit on it, and then you've got to make sure that it's clean and sanitized for 30 minutes or 5 days, 10 days, whatever it is, to make sure that all the proper sanitized precautions take place. Okay, so they're sanitizing literally how you properly sanitize. You clean it, you disinfect it, and then you've got to let it decontaminate. You've got to let it breathe. You got to let fresh air come in there, because you clean all the dirtiness, all the filth out of there. The New York subway system, he's cleaned out the filth, and he still hasn't opened back up some terminals, but he has to literally let the fresh air in and let the old air out. Literally, you got to let the fresh air in and let the old air out. That's how you properly sanitize, properly decontaminate an area. Literally, so you've got to clean the solution, and let the old air in, old air out, and let the new air in. So they've got to protect the public from getting access to the air, because it's being under contamination. So that's why they close down governments and put the governments into different phases to reopen. Okay, so you have phase 1 for major emergency services, major hospital services. You have phase 2 for necessary businesses, for not nail salons, but I'm talking about like major businesses. Like, okay, a corporation needs to reopen, a small business offices need to reopen. And then you have phase 3, which goes to basic everyday services, beauty supplies, not convenience stores, because people still need convenience stores. 7-Elevens are still open. They're a necessary business. I'm talking about like pretty much, Goodwills are now reopening, and they're in phase 2, phase 3. You have Goodwills, you have second thrift stores, you have local business, local clothing stores. Clothing stores are now reopening. Makeup stores are now reopening. Daily extra extra goods. You have makeup stores reopening. Beauty supply stores, not hair salon. Yes, hair salons and beauty supply stores. are now reopening. So it has to be in different phases because it has to decontaminate. And so people like me, like emergency services, we get to the problem. If there's an issue, if somebody's having a heart attack, if somebody broke their arm, and you're in an event with over 5 to 10,000 people, there needs to be city officials at these events. There needs to be city officials at the events to service these people. Okay. And that's what I do. I'm servicing these people out of my own personal expense. Okay. It's like, am I getting a check? Am I getting a check? No, I am not getting a check because it's not coming out. What I am doing is I have set all the donations to the side and I have opened up a personal business account to make sure that all the donations that I have gotten goes to the business, goes to the nonprofit. So it's come in, it comes out, it comes in, it comes out. And yes, you still can get paid out of a nonprofit. So I've been doing this for 3 weeks, and so far in the city of Boston, I have made almost $2,000. Okay. Just a little over 3 weeks. But again, understand, it is a nonprofit. Okay. This is a nonprofit business. I am not getting paid. Like, are you getting paid? Are you getting paid? I am not getting paid. I am not getting paid. I am doing everything out of my own. This is all these supplies, all these donations, everything is coming out of my own money. Okay. I don't have an employment. I am on disability. So this is all coming out of the goodness of my heart, out of my own charity, out of my own funds. I'm not getting a check off of this. No, I am not. I am not getting paid. I am not getting paid. But what I'm doing is, that's how a lot of nonprofits works. That's how the Salvation Army works. That's how the American Red Cross works. That's how a lot of these government workers work. They work off of donations. All these local city officials, all these local United Way charities, all these homeless shelters, they work out of the goodness of heart of people that donate to them. Okay, all the shelters that I've been in, they work out of the goodness of their heart for people that donate to these charities, donate to these shelters, donate to schools. A lot of schools are nonprofit. They work back off of loans, off of grants, off of charities that donate to the services that these schools, that these institutions provide. Okay, so am I taking a check? No. But you can still be paid. Okay, you can still be paid off of the mission of the nonprofit. What is my mission? My mission is to service and bring first aid services to local cities and governments. Okay, I said in my state of Massachusetts, as well as my Boston, as well as my Santander Bank account today. I'm here to service the needs of community as well as the local city governments and governments. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time. And it doesn't bother me. It does not bother me at all to do this. I do this out of the kindness of my heart, and I love it. I love doing what I do. I love doing what I do. So, and I enjoy it. And you know what? I can take a check out of it if I want to, but it's not a lot. But eventually it will come out to be what I want it to be. And yes, that's how you do a business. You do a business from a little bit to a little bit. That's how my dad did. And that's what I'm doing now. My dad had Pounds Electronics. He worked on, he repaired people's electronics. And now he also worked Sears for 30 years. And he did his own business. He turned what he was working to into his own business. So thank you, Daddy, for Pounds Electronics. And thank you, Daddy, for Happy Father's Day. Larry Battle in Texas. So Larry Donnell Battle Sr. So, that's how you really stop the rate of transmission. Okay. That's how local governments work. They got to clean it. They got to disinfect it. They got to medicate the area, medicate literally medicate the city. They have to take the medicine. They have to put ointment. They have to put a disinfectant solution all over the city. They have to put a solution in the air and a solution on the streets and on facilities, on the seats, on the public buses. They had to put a solution all in the air to medicate this virus, to stop this virus, to kill it, as well as to put a Band-Aid on it. They've got to cover the people. They've got to cover the people, and they've got to cover the government facilities that they service. So that's what they do. They put a Band-Aid on it. And right now, Cuomo could put a Band-Aid on it all he wants to, but this virus is still going to be there. It's traveled from the east, from the northeastern, from the Northwest, and now it's going back down south. Right now, it's highest in Florida and Texas, which is one of the biggest cities, one of the biggest states in the United States. Okay, of course, it's normal. It's normal for a virus to be infected in big cities, whether it's in the north or the east, west coast, or the east or the west coast. It's normal. A virus is going to attack more people, whether Miami, Los Angeles, New York City, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas. It's normal. But what it is the government, the local city governments, the local city officials have to figure out a way to control it, decontaminate it, medicate it, and get rid of it. That's the only way you can deal with, and especially if the virus is viral, it goes from person to person transmission, you've got to put a medicine on it. You've got to put antibiotics. You got to take antibiotics, or you got to take a Tylenol, something that the hospital can give you to deal with the pain and deal with the spreading of the viral infection. So you've got to figure out a way to medicate yourself from this infection. You've got to figure out a way to medicate it. It's normal, okay? So it's normal. What's going on right now in the South, in Atlanta and Miami and Dallas and Houston is normal. That means that the transmission is getting low, it's being under control, it's being quarantined. Quarantine is normal, okay? Governments all around the world do it, okay? It's normal. So as well as going down south, that means it's probably going to come back up. It's going down, it's going to come back up. So that way, when the virus when people start moving from down south, okay, because a lot of people move from out of the big cities, now they're moving back to the big cities and trying to get work back again, which is why they're moving back into the big cities. Of course, the virus hasn't been, the rates haven't been completely, the rates have not been completely eliminated yet, but they want it as low as possible. So the rates were highest up here, up top north, and it's going to be highest down. They have to bring it back into balance, okay, which is normal. If you can't survive COVID-19, coronavirus, this season, then you pretty much, your body has established antibodies to deal with the next rate of transmission of infection, which is pretty much normal, okay? Because the flu strain gets stronger every single year. The flu strain gets stronger every single year. Okay. But what you've got to do, you've got to have, no matter how big or how many people it takes or how strong it gets, you've got to pretty much do the same thing over and over and over and over again. You got to clean it, you got to medicate it, and you've got to contain it, protect yourself. You got to clean the situation, you've got to medicate the situation, and you've got to protect the situation. It is pretty much normal. Clean it, medicate it, protect it. It's normal. You can't run away, because a lot of people are running away. Oh my God, coronavirus is here. We're going back up north to get a job. You can't run away from it. It's normal. You can't run away from it. Okay, it's normal. Oh my God. It's normal. It is normal. It is normal. Okay, it is normal. So it is normal, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes some things you can't deal with. Is a little bit out of control. So it is normal. People don't run away. The virus is going down south. It's in Houston. It's in Miami. It's in Tampa. It's in Atlanta. Of course, it's going to be normal, but you can't run away from the virus. You've got to make sure you stay in that area that you're living at. Okay. Make sure that you are quarantined. Make sure that you are medicated, because if you come back up here to these big cities, you're gonna get it twice double, because people are already getting rid of it, and you have it. Do you know what I'm saying? You have the virus, and your body's infected with it, and people up here have antibodies against it. And you come up here and you're like, why is everybody doing better up here? I thought everybody else was sick. No, honey, everybody was quarantined. That's what it is. Everybody was quarantined, protected inside their homes, okay? Everybody was quarantined. That's why people stayed inside their homes. Seriously, they stayed inside their homes with their families, and they were quarantined, so they built up antibodies against it, as well as homeless people. A lot of homeless people, they weren't inside all the time. They were outside, inside. Their bodies built up. They were eating good. A lot of agencies provided food services, bathing services to a whole bunch of homeless people, which a lot of homeless people got services. So Don't run away from this virus if it's in Miami, Tampa, Houston, Atlanta. Don't run away from it. What you gotta do if you're down south, you don't try to come up to me and say, "Oh, I have the breath of life." The Queen does not have the breath of life. Oh, she's a miracle worker. Oh, she's a miracle worker. No. Oh, her mood is a 7. Oh, she's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. No, the Queen Battle does not have the breath of life. Okay. I have been quarantined just like everybody else. I have been quarantined 3 times. In New York and here in Boston, okay? And yes, people in Boston are get up on me. Yes, people make sure that, the Queen, are you okay? Look at this hot mess looking. Oh my God, she's in Boston. Oh my God, she's walking everywhere. Oh my God. Now everybody knows me in Boston. Hip, hip, hooray. You trying to hook me up with somebody else who has the coronavirus. I don't want your virus. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from here. No, you're not. I haven't seen your face here before in the city of Boston. Oh, yeah, I'm from Boston. No, you're not. Everybody that I know here in Boston has all their windows up and all their car windows up because they know that people are coming to Boston just because Boston is clean. So if I see somebody here from Boston, their windows are up, best believe. Best believe. Okay. And they have their face mask on, black or white. People are coming to me like, "Oh, we're going to breathe the Queen's air." We're going to breathe her scent. We're going to breathe her air. No, you're not. We'll pay for her clothes. Her clothes have a breath of life on it. No. So, people have been sanitized. People have been quarantined. That's what it is. Governor Cuomo and Governor Baker, especially here in Massachusetts, Governor Baker is very serious. He will make sure that people stay inside. If you don't stay inside, if you don't have a face mask on, you will get a ticket. Oh, yes, they have been giving tickets. Okay. So Massachusetts, and especially in Massachusetts and especially in Pennsylvania and Vermont, yes, the governors have been making sure that people stay inside. A mandatory quarantine order, especially here in Boston. You best believe, not New York, but in Boston, you best believe police officers are like, "What are you doing on the street? What are you doing on the street?" I'm just I'm shopping around. No, honey, go back home. You need to be quarantined. Seriously. Yes, especially here in Boston, in Massachusetts, especially in Pennsylvania, up north in Vermont and New Hampshire. Yes, they have had a tri-city agreement to make sure that our people stay quarantined. You best believe. So like, why are other people in Boston clean? Well, if you go, people are doing better, but the city's boarded up. Businesses are still boarded up. Businesses have not opened back up again 100%. But I could probably get a big business at a cheaper rate. I probably can. I just need to talk to some people about it. You'd be surprised, okay? So, right here is quarantine, okay? People here in the businesses are still boarded up and shut down, of course, because a lot of people have left, but the business owners are coming back into the city, okay? They have come back from different cities, from different countries. And now that is how the economy is revived again, okay? Yes, I'm focused, but not how you want me to be focused. I'm focused on myself. I'm focused the way I want to be focused. So the economy is coming back, reviving again, because business owners are now coming back in and taking control of their business. And that's how it works. All right. So you've got to start with the basics. You've got to start with the basics. You've got to clean it. You got to clean the infection, clean the coronavirus, clean the issue. You've got to clean it. You got to sanitize it. Okay, you clean the situation. You clean it. Then you have to medicate it. You have to medicate the situation, medicate it. And then after what do you do after you medicate it? You've got to put a Band-Aid on it. Okay, you've got to protect the situation from happening again. You've got to cover it and you've got to let it heal. Once you cover it, you've got to let it heal. And that is what's right now is what's going on with the coronavirus. The government have cleaned the situation. They have medicated people, provided people with antibiotics, but let people know if you have an antibody, please come back and provide the government with your antibodies, as well as take medicine. If you have a viral infection, you've got to take an antibiotic. You got to take a Z-Pack if you have a regular infection. You've got to medicate it. Medicate it. Medicate it. You've got to medicate it. This is an antidepressant. Okay, this is an antidepressant. Usually, people, they take prescribed medication by their doctor, an antibiotic, a Z-Pack, or you can take regular vitamins and minerals. You could take iron. You could take, this is folic acid. You could take iron. You could take vitamin D. You can take biotin. This is turmeric. This is really good. I take turmeric too. You've got to medicate the situation. You've got to. That's why they have that sanitizing solution. All the cities, especially in China and Europe, they're going around spraying the whole city with disinfectant with a medicated solution. Make sure that they control the virus fast. So they are medicating the solution. Medicating the solution. Okay. Now I'm trying to get this published in the city newspapers. My next goal is, of course, to be published. I've got to be published. I've got to be published. So once you medicate it, then you've got to put a Band-Aid on it. You've got to put a Band-Aid on it, and you've got to protect the public, and you've got to protect the governments, protect the facilities, the library facilities, the government facilities. You've got to protect it. So you put a Band-Aid on it, you've got to protect it. That's how it works. So all these Black Lives Matter movement, hey, Black Lives Matter. Yay! That's great. But still, young people out there as well, key to my heart, you've got to protect the situation, prevent it from happening again. And protect it, protect the situation, protect it, and let it heal. You've got to protect the situation and let it heal. Protect it and let it heal. Protect it and let it heal. Okay, you've got to let it heal. Protect it and let it heal. You've got to let it heal. That's how you put a Band-Aid on it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm give you guys a good example right here. So I have a hangnail right now. I have a hangnail. Okay, make this visual. I have coronavirus, I have a viral infection, whatever it is. I got to clean my system out. I've got to drink water, okay? I've got to drink water or tea. I've got to clean my internal system as well as my external body. I've got to clean the situation because here's the Band-Aid. I have a boo-boo right now. I have a boo-boo, so I'm going to clean it, okay? This baby alcohol swab. I'm going to clean this boo-boo. I have my finger hangnail. I'm clean it, okay? Then I'm going to put an ointment on it, okay? Yeah, it is basic common sense. It's basic common sense, but it's on a large, wide scale. Okay, so I'm going to put an ointment on it because I have this hangnail right here. You guys see I have a hangnail? I have two on both sides. So I'm going to put this ointment on it, which is pretty much what is it doing? Is medicating it. It's medicating the boo-boo. I'm going to put this ointment on it. See, now the boo-boo is medicated. See? It's medicated and it is protected. Protected from further injuries. Okay, where is it? Okay. So I cleaned it and then I medicated it. And this A&D ointment has, what does it have, Hydro? What does A&D have? What is the ingredients? It has mineral oil, cod liver oil, vitamin A, and vitamin D. This is medication, okay? Okay, so I protected it. Protected the ointment, and now it's medicated and protected. It's medicated, it's cleaned, it's medicated, and now what I've got to do is I've got to put a Band-Aid on it to protect it and let it heal. And that's right now is what's going on with the coronavirus. Okay, the governments are like, okay, we've cleaned our facilities, we've cleaned our large gathering places, we've cleaned the basketball tournaments, we've cleaned the convention centers, we've cleaned the large public gatherings. Now we've sanitized large public gatherings. Now we got to medicate, spray all the disinfectant all over it. Now we've got to protect the public from making sure that it doesn't happen again. So we got to let the facilities sit with this solution in it for at least like 6 weeks. Literally, these big convention prevention centers have been closed down for like 3 months now, because they have to put that solution every single day in the chairs, in the stadium stands, to make sure that the solution kills any kind of further viral infection. So my hand now has the medication on it, my finger. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the Band-Aid on it to cover and protect it, okay? So this Band-Aid will cover my wound. It will cover my little hangnail, okay? This Band-Aid will cover my wound. Okay, now my infection, my hangnail infection is now covered, and now it will have the process of being healed, which is what the government of the United States and all around the world is going through right now. They have covered the people, and now they just have to make sure it's covered. Now they have to make sure that it is healed, okay? They have to make sure that is healed from any further viral infection. Okay, that's how it works. That's how the process of infection control, transmission, the Ebola virus, the Spanish flu, the pig virus. I don't know, all these viral infections. And that's why I have insurance. God, I have so much insurance. It is ridiculous. I have my job insurance. I have my Medicare insurance, and I'm with the state. I'm going to be with the city. I'm going to be with the local business bureau, and I'm with the bank. So I have to make sure that I'm covered and protected, okay? Under FDIC, under the state, under local business laws. And now I have to go to the government and make sure I'm approved by the government. Make sure that people understand what is going on, so they can use my services as well as get this out to other people, because it's not about me. The issue is about the whole entire world, what is going on with the whole entire world. So right now I'm doing this piece by piece by piece by piece. Literally. I'm doing this piece by piece by piece. So you've got to clean it and sanitize it. You've got to clean it, clean the virus, clean the viral, the coronavirus, COVID-19. You've got to medicate it. You've got to put an ointment on the boo-boo, or you've got to take the medicine, the antibiotics, the Z-Pack, to make sure it is medicated. And now you've got to cover the wound, cover it, protect it, and make sure it's healed. That's how any kind of global epidemic, the rate of transmission goes down, because once you go through the basic steps of infection control, now you've got to have the people build up antibodies in their system and protect the public from making sure it doesn't go. Of course, it's going to happen again. It's normal for it to happen. It is normal. It's normal. We already talked about this. We already talked about this. It's normal. It's normal. We already talked about this. But you've got to protect it, okay, and make sure that it is under control, and make sure that it heals. Make sure that this heals. It heals. Make sure that it heals. Okay? All right. I mean, counseling, that'll work, but really, honestly, you're talking from one person to one person. That's not how a person heals. A person doesn't heal from one to one. That's not how you heal. What you heal by using your life experiences and sharing it with other people. And so you'll be able to identify, if I went through this and other people went through this, I am not alone. That's how you heal, by letting other people know that you are not alone. And that's how you share the wealth. You share the information. You share it. Sharing is caring. You've got to share. Not share a viral infection. You've got to share your experiences with other people so that you can heal. That is how you heal. It's not on a one-on-one 30-minute paid conversation with somebody. It's not an hour paid conversation with somebody. It's not a sexual encounter. How you heal is by sharing your experiences with other people. Okay? Especially when you deal with prejudice, especially when you're dealing with hate groups, especially when you're dealing with KKK, Antifa, whatever it is, hate groups, German groups, Christian groups, pro-life, pro-choice, whatever it is. When you deal with hate, the only way you can make sure that you overcome it and heal from the pain, heal from somebody's death, is to share your experiences with other people and use it as a platform to get back up and to use, I do apologize to the family of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and all these people, Black people that continue to get murdered senselessly, but the families got to share their experiences. I mean, you can share the video of somebody getting killed, but that's not gonna heal the country from racial prejudice. What's going to heal the country from racial prejudice is by passing laws, by passing legislation to make sure that we can get control of hate. Hate is not going to go away. Police brutality is not going away by defunding police. It's not going to go away. What it is we've got to build up laws and build up legislation to control it. Hate is always going to be around. It's been around since biblical times, but you got to control it. You've got to prevent these people from getting any more further power. That's how you do it. All right, so this is the Queen Battle. The Queen Battle, certified medical assistant, certified CPR AED, and now certified first responder through the American Red Cross and the American Heart Association. And I will be pretty soon, coming up in a couple months, to be published in nationwide magazine publications and on TV to make sure that people understand what I'm going through, what I have shared, and make sure that people understand what is going on. So I will soon be published. I don't know if I'm running for office or not, but I want to be published. I want to make sure that I can share my ideas and my information with other people. I don't know if I'm Mensa or not, a highly intellectual person, but I want to make sure if I healed, I know that other people can heal too as well. That's how it works. Okay. So that's how it works. All right. So again, one more time, you got a viral infection, you're sick, you got a boo-boo, you got to clean the boo-boo, you got to clean it. You've got to medicate it. You've got to medicate the boo-boo. You got to medicate it. Ointment, medication, antibiotics, Z-Pack, whatever it is, you got to medicate the boo-boo. Okay, you got to medicate it. And then you've got to protect it and protect the boo-boo, protect it, and let it heal. Let it heal. You've got to protect it. Once you protected it and covered it, you've got to let it heal. Stop it from being exposed to any other further, and make sure that it heals. And that was what the quarantine is about. What quarantine is about. You got to make sure the public heals from this. Okay, that's why they have quarantine. You cover your face mask. Quarantine. Make sure that it heals. Okay, so I should know better because I'm doing research on it. All right, so this is the Queen Battle coming live from downtown Boston, Massachusetts. I am now a state-regulated nonprofit organization. I am now with the IRS. Oh, hey, I'm a certified nonprofit, as well as I will be certified with this. I'm doing the same thing. I will be certified through the state of New York and the city of New York and the city of Albany, soon to be. So, and I will be published. All right. So this is a Queen Battle coming live from downtown Boston, Massachusetts. I've got a lot to do. I'm working with Miss DeVita. Oh my God. We have so many personality issues, which is nothing new, as well as when I go to Poke stores. It is nothing new. So I love you guys. I love you guys. Please, please, please. He's probably checking to see if I have on a face mask. Seriously. So I love you guys. This is LaQueen. Please continue to keep me in your thoughts and your prayers. I am a hot mess. I am asking for donations. I'm always asking. I'm on Venmo. I'm on PayPal. I'm on YouTube. My phone was stolen from me earlier this week, but I just have to go to Metro and apply for another phone. Literally. So I love you guys. Please continue. I will be soon to be published. I am a state accredited. I was supposed to have a meeting with the Better Business Bureau today, but I was tired. So I am state accredited, as well as soon to be with a federally approved nonprofit agency. So I want to share my wealth and all my energy and all my love with you guys, as well as soon to be nurse medic. I will be taking a medic course class here in Boston in 3 weeks. So I love you guys. Please continue to keep me in your thoughts and your prayers. This is LaQueen coming live from Boston on Facebook on my left and on YouTube on my right. I love you guys. Peace and love.